Notice I've got practice 1 open in Onshape. I'm going to use that practice part from last week to add a new part studio to practice creating some sketches and including design intent using constraints. So from the practice 1 Onshape workspace, I'll use the plus sign to create a new part studio. From the new part studio, we're going to go ahead and add a sketch. Place the sketch on the front plane and look at the front surface. Notice in our guide that we're trying to add a rectangle located at the origin. That's that little dot in the bottom left corner. So I'll create a corner rectangle starting at the origin, get it approximately that 2 size, and when it pops up the dimensions I can type in 2, enter, 2, and enter. Okay. I want to take a look at all the constraints associated with a rectangle. So when I show constraints, you'll see a bunch of things pop up. We've got coincident, and that's connecting a line to the origin. We also have parallel, showing the 2 sides parallel, and parallel showing top and bottom parallel. Several more coincident constraints, a horizontal constraint, and a perpendicular constraint. And that's what you get when you create a rectangle. We're going to go ahead and use the equal constraint to make it a square. So when I use the equal constraint between the bottom and the left-hand side, everything turns red because I've got too much information. So we'll turn off the error, select the bottom dimension, and delete it so that now we have a square with a size of 2. The next thing we're going to try to add to this is a square that's in the center of the existing square. And notice there's a line going straight down from the top to the bottom. That's a construction line. So we use the construction tool, draw a line that sticks to the midpoint of the top and the midpoint of the bottom. Okay. Click on the line tool to disable it and turn on the center point rectangle. And we can again take advantage of that midpoint option to put the center point rectangle at the center of the construction line. While I'm placing this, I notice it's construction geometry, but clicking Q while I'm placing it toggles off the construction tool. Again, we'll add an equal constraint to force it to be a square instead of a rectangle. And instead of using its dimensions, we'll use the dimension tool to place our own. Side to side, click to place, and set the dimension of 0.5. So now we've got our 2 rectangles created, and we're going to go ahead and add that circle. Place the circle in about the right spot, click to place it, set the dimension to 1. Okay. Now we're going to add a coincident constraint, and that coincident constraint is going to stick the corner edge to the outside of the circle, and we'll use horizontal to line up the center and the corner. And that's it. We've used horizontal, coincident, equal, and perpendicular, and midpoint to create our sketch. Sketch is all done. We'll hit the green check mark. And we'll go ahead and see what this sketch gives us. When we extrude the entire sketch 1, we get 2 parts. So part 1 and part 2, part 1 showing up in blue, part 2 showing up in gray. Because those 2 sketches are not intersecting, when we add material through extrude, we get 2 parts.